seen the devil, now to face his mortal servants on earth. Witches, sorcerers, warlocks. They are all in the service of Satan and his hellish minions, who trade the salvation of the afterlife, their eternal souls, for the power to wreak evil upon the living world. Is there any escape for the practitioners of witchcraft? Can we ever be safe from these sinister monsters among us? Shakespeare's flights of fancy and dramatic portrayals of black magic could never parallel the true horror of the 17th century. The Salem Witch Trials. The puritanical village of Salem, Massachusetts, receives its first ordained minister in 1689, Reverend Samuel Parris. Parris will rule the town with an iron fist and perpetuate evils worse than those he claims to stop. It starts when Reverend Parris's daughter, Elizabeth, and his niece, Abigail, start having fits that are more than epileptic in nature and border on the supernatural. They convulse uncontrollably. They scream. They throw things across the room. They utter strange sounds, crawl under furniture, and according to an eyewitness, even contort themselves into unnatural positions. Another girl in Salem, Ann Putnam, also exhibits and claims similar episodes. It is ungodly, their behavior. If it doesn't come directly from the devil, then it must be from his minions. On February 29th, 1692, after the girls are pressured to reveal their afflictors by two magistrates, they name three women. Tituba is Reverend Parris's Caribbean slave. Sarah Good is a homeless beggar. And Sarah Osborne, an elderly widow. To the villagers, there is no doubt that the women are witches acting out the devil's work. On March 1st, the three women are brought before the magistrates and interrogated for several days. Good and Osborne deny the charges. Witnesses claim to have seen Sarah Good flying to coven meetings at night, and even her own husband claims her on the path towards, if not already realized, becoming a witch. Good's daughter, Sarah, only 4 years old, testifies against her own mother and is herself jailed for witchcraft. Tituba, accused of telling young girls stories of incubi and devils from the Malleus Maleficarum, finally confesses. She says, "The devil came to me and bid me serve him, and that a man in black enticed her to sign a book. The devil's book contains the signatures of his witches, written in blood." The three women are imprisoned. Tituba, who has inadvertently fueled the fire of witch hunting, is later released. Salem is overtaken with a paranoid fear of black magic. Several more women are accused of witchcraft, including an active member of the church. Osborne is hanged on May 10th, while on July 29th, Good is hanged, along with more found guilty of witchcraft. Then there's Giles Corey. The prosperous farmer is dragged into the witch hunt on April 18th, 1692, accused of being a warlock. One of the girls accusing him, Mercy Lewis, is 19. It is September 9th.
I saw the apparition of Giles Corey come and afflict me, urging me to write in his book. And so he continued most dreadfully to hurt me, by times beating me and almost breaking my back, till the day of his examination, being the 19th of April. And then also during the time of his examination did he affect and torture me most grievously. and also several times since, urging me vehemently to write in his book. And I verily believe in my heart that Giles Corey is a dreadful wizard. For since he had been in prison, he or his appearance has come and most grievously tormented me.
Corey refuses to plead. The law's punishment is draconian at best. Peine faute et deux is where a prisoner is laid down beneath a heavy board. Boulders and rocks are placed upon it and pressed until he makes a plea. On September 17th, after months in prison, Corey is taken to a nearby field where Sheriff George Corwin has 6 men place heavy stones, one at a time, on top of him. He refuses to even cry out. 2 days later, urged to plead either way, Giles calls out, "More weight." Governor William Phipps is concerned about the witchcraft scourge, and on May 27, 1692, he establishes a special order of oyer and terminaire to try witches. Bridget Bishop's case is the first they hear. Known for her promiscuity about the village, she is quickly found guilty and hanged on June 10th. A growing concern is the admissibility of spectral evidence, where witnesses testify about visions and dreams. Governor Phipps takes note of the pleas against spectral evidence, primarily after his own wife finds herself questioned for witchcraft. On October 29th, Phipps dissolves the court of oyer and terminaire and replaces it with the Superior Court of Judicature. The main difference is that judicature does not allow spectral evidence. Only 3 of 56 defendants are condemned. By May 1693, Phipps pardons the survivors of the Salem Witch Trials and releases them from jail. In the end, the devil's work was committed by the hysterical masses of Salem. 200 stood accused, 19 were hanged, and Corey was pressed to death. Legend has it that Corey appears walking in the graveyard before disaster strikes Salem, a village that eternally remains his home.
I think witches historically were probably just people who were very independent thinkers, and I think that wasn't permissible. And it certainly was forbidden for women, especially, to sort of be their own person, be into their own thing, maybe not put all the corseting and stuff that they were required to put on, maybe dress a little differently, maybe wear all black. They were like the first counterculture kids, I think, witches. They just sort of went to the beat of their own drummer, they wore all black, they had their black cat, they were into all this sort of gothic stuff and weird baubles and collecting, and they were nerds sort of too. I think I see all monsters as nerds, perhaps. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but I think they just didn't fit in. I think they were misfit, and there's always that kind of, well, why is that person over there so satisfied with themselves and what they're doing? Let's just drag them out of their house and burn them. I think that's the hive mind mentality. Whenever someone is able to find their own way and sort of be their own person, maybe that's a real bad attitude. But I think most witches are misunderstood. They weren't monsters. They just were different, and they were people who had different ways, different beliefs, different modes of dress, different traditions. And it just kind of spooked the straights. They don't like it.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help us produce more compelling historical content like this, please like, comment below, and share this video with fellow history buffs. And of course, be sure to subscribe to help keep history happening.